Hare Krishna and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Topic for today, today's discussion is reciprocal Krishna, and we'll soon jump into this topic to understand what it really means and how this is again applicable to our life as well. So reciprocal Krishna, reciprocation is one of the quality, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a little bit while. So let's proceed. Let's proceed uh, with our today's topic. So this particular we will discuss a verse, 4.11 verse, and which comes in obviously the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And so, just to give a little background of this fourth chapter, we are not discussing chapter per se, but we are discussing this verse where Krishna speaks about his reciprocal nature. And in order to understand this verse, let's go a little little back to understand how this chapter begins. So this chapter begins by Krishna declaring that he is giving this knowledge to Arjuna because he is a devotee and he is a friend of Krishna. Speaks in the Kavans in the third verse of fourth chapter, where Krishna beautifully describes that he declares that sa evayam maya tedya yogah proktah puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yo etad uttamam. ये रहस्य, this is a rahasya, this is a secret. I'm giving this secret to you. Then this secret knowledge which I'm sharing with you, is it freshly concocted, freshly thought through? No, it is puratanaha. It is very old. This knowledge is not, I have not created this for you to suitable for your situation. This is existent always. This is always in existent. ये हमेशा से रहा है. And now I'm giving this knowledge to you. Why? Bhakto sime sakha cheti. Because you are my bhakta, you are my devotee, and you are my friend. And what is this knowledge all about? This knowledge, this very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme. Now, this is something sublime. This is something we don't know that we ourselves are a spiritual spark. Krishna is a spiritual whole, and we are related with each other. We have a relationship with the Supreme, and that Supreme, this Bhagavad Gita, the mystical knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, is will help us understand what is our relationship with the Supreme, what is our relationship with the Supreme. And this science, this is called science because this relationship can be realized. One can understand, everyone can understand this relationship if they follow a process. That's why it's called science. Science is something which can be proven in all circumstances. It's a scientific theory holds good in most circumstances. So if one is able to experiment in controlled environment, one wants to test the law of gravity, and one has to drop a stone from a distance and it will fall down, and it will fall down, a stone will fall down, and most of the objects will actually fall down. Every object will fall down, even if we jump from a building, it we will fall down. Gravity will pull us down. We will not float. So this can be verifiable. Is it? It's verifiable. That's why it's called a scientific theory, and which is accepted by everyone because this experiment, by conducting experiment at different places, this can be proved that yes, a ball if you drop from in Mumbai, it comes down. In London, it comes down. In New York, it comes down. In Tokyo, it comes down. In Australia, it will come down. In Africa, also, it will come down. So, this becomes a proof of theory. And similarly, Krishna consciousness is also a science. That anyone who apply themselves to the process, learn the philosophy, and apply themselves to the process will uh, will be able to realize at first hand, personal by personal experience, the proof of Krishna consciousness. That is the the by simply following the process, by learning the philosophy, one will become fearless, one will become peaceful, one will become happy. One's mind will be able to exercise greater degree of control over their mind. One will become truthful, one will maintain integrity, one will become extremely compassionate, one will become extremely extremely helpful, because he will see everyone as part and parcel of Krishna, and being in part of one whole big family of Krishna, everyone will want to help everyone else. So everyone will be compassionate, everyone will be helpful, everyone will be truthful, people will have integrity, people will not backstab you, people will be happy with what they have. And this is what the whole world today is searching for. World is searching for happiness. They don't get happiness because they are not peaceful. People don't have peace of mind. Despite of having best of facilities, people are not peaceful, people are not happy, and people are definitely have no control over their mind. We can fire missiles with precise accuracy, but we don't have control over those people's mind. They don't have control over their own mind, who have authority to fire those missiles. So that's why we have all kind of nonsensical things happening in this world. So this is where we are. As long as we 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 move away from Krishna, we will continue to live in this kind of a situation, which is fearful situation, which is distressful situation, which is anxious situation. Everyone is anxious, everyone is fearful, everyone is experiencing that they can't control their emotions, they can't control their desires, they can't control their actions, they can't control their speech. And none of those things, that's none of and all of this put together makes them distressed, makes them anxious, make them lose their peace of mind. And those who don't have peace of mind, how can such people be happy? Ashantasya kutham sukham. Krishna poses this question, a rhetorical question, in the 66th verse of second chapter, where he says, if you are not peaceful, how can you become happy? So this is where we are, and that's why this science of relationship with the Supreme, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, becomes extremely, extremely important for us. We may earn a lot of money and still be miserable. We can be miserable in air-conditioned bedroom with a very soft bed, with best of facilities, and we will continue to be miserable. So those things, they can give you comfort to the physical body, not to the mind. And we have examples of so many people who admit that they are living a miserable life. They can't sleep without taking a sleeping pill. So what's the solution? What's the solution? Is turn towards Krishna, turn towards Krishna consciousness, turn towards Bhagavad Gita, and you will attain peace. You will gain control over your mind, and you will become happy eventually. So this knowledge is not freshly thought through knowledge. Krishna didn't thought about it when Arjuna started asking question. So Krishna says, beginning of this chapter, Krishna says, I've given this knowledge to sun god, and in the course of time this knowledge was lost. uh, that evam parampara praptim imam rajar shayo viduhu so kale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. The second verse of this chapter, Krishna says that this was given to sun god, who was king of all planets. But in the course of time, this knowledge was lost. Therefore, Krishna is speaking this knowledge again to re-establish dharma, using which his devotees can achieve Krishna, achieve liberation. And in the process, he is going to also annihilate the miscreants. If Krishna comes here primarily to perform pastimes with his devotees, primarily to give instruction to his devotees, using which devotees can come back to him. All the wandering souls, they can find destination to their journey. And they can come to Krishna. They can take up the process, follow the process. At the end of that process, they can come to Krishna. And In the process, when Krishna comes, he will also kill few demons. That's just a secondary purpose of his appearance. So, simply by and these are the two verses, 7 and 8 verse, where Krishna says that यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय यं संभवामि युगे युगे. This is the these are the this is secondary. This is not very important. Paritranaya sadhunam, that's good, but Krishna comes primarily to perform pastimes. Our Acharya is right. And how do we know that his more important purpose of his appearance is revealed in the ninth verse of this chapter, where Krishna says that Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti. So Arjuna, simply by knowing about my birth, the tattva behind my birth and my activities, one will not have to take birth again in this material world. And then comes the uh, the 11th verse, where Krishna is going to speak something very significant. In the 11th verse, he is going to say that ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartanama anuvartante manushaha partha sarvashaha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. The other meaning of it is, if you do not surrender to Krishna, Krishna does not reward you. If you surrender to Krishna, Krishna will reward you. Krishna will reciprocate. And if you don't surrender to Krishna, he will reciprocate in the other way around. So if you show love for Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate by showing love towards you. But if you hate Krishna, Krishna will not show will not give you his mercy, will not get his mercy. He will not hate you. He can't hate us. He just loves us so much. That's why it's called causeless mercy, causeless love. There's no reason for him to love us. We are not that good people at all. We've been Prabhupada writes in the third chapter of one of the purport that those who eat without offering are thief, and those who uh, are again to the demigod, they are thief, and those who eat without offering are sinful people. They are eating sin only. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that the society which is filled with sinful people, which is filled with thieves, how such society can ever be peaceful and happy? So no wonder why we have what we have today, that everyone is struggling with their peace of mind. Everyone is struggling with their happiness, their relationships, and so everything is not working, seems not to be working. And all of this is because they lack the presence of God in their life. They lack the submissive surrender attitude towards God in their life. And because they don't have it, even if they have other material facility, they are living a miserable life. So Krishna says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. O son of Pratha. We're going to go deep into this particular section. Let's do a quick activity. If you were to ask a question about 20 to about 20 random people on your phone book contact list, that who is God? If you were to ask this question to you know um, some random people whom you met, could be your office colleagues, could be your college friends, could be your school friends, could be your neighbors, could be your uncles and aunties, or relatives, or could be anyone. But around 20 random people, if you will ask, what kind of answers that you will get? Anybody would like to share something? If you ask them, who is God? Do you know who is God? What kind of answers we can expect? You can use chat box, or you can raise hand and speak. Yes, Ashwini Vadkar Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yesterday also, I just discussed with one colleague. He is saying that all believe in God because we have a fear of death. So that was his concept. I was trying to prove that we are the just part of God. Means परमात्मा हम परमात्मा के अंश है आत्मा. और वो बोल रहे थे कि नहीं मैडम, वो क्या है कि हम सब मृत्यु से डरते हैं, इसलिए हम गॉड है ऐसा मानते हैं.
Okay.
ऐसा एक आंसर मुझे
So
मिला, वो बताने के.
if you're, because we fear God, because we have a fear of death, we uh, we believe in God.
That
So
was his
uh,
opinion,
kind of,
Prabhuji.
so it's a kind of weak belief in God. Is that kind of a, that what he was trying to suggest? Those who are weaker, because
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. I think so.
weakness. It's a, those who are weak will search for God. Those who are strong will
May-
save the life. Something like that. What is
Maybe I
was
think so.
intended?
His opinion
Okay,
was
okay,
like that.
yeah, very
Yes,
nice.
Prabhuji.
Yes, uh,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, many of them will take the name of deities, and as per the deities, they will say that, they will say Ganesh ji is God, they will say Shiva is God. So they believe in the deities and a deity form of worship. So for them, the deities becomes the God. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Vikas Ji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So there are like kind of plethora of answers, and they all go in different dimensions, Prabhuji. So means the interaction with them does not give that they are knowing actually the definition of Bhagwan. And because as Mataji and Prabhuji covered this, that they will say that all the demigods are the god. They will say that the weaker are actually assuming this god, especially the atheists. They are with the concept that actually the god is nothing but they have the fear factor has been instilled to create some kind of imposition. Otherwise, he is not there because we cannot see him in the society. And there are then other sects of the society, like the Muslim, they call that Allah is the only God. The Christianity goes with the that the Jesus is the Son of God, and that is their God is different. So and in totality, actually, what comes is what I could perceive is that without any definition, with some kind of rituals and beliefs that they have got since their birth or the association, they are actually giving different kind of definitions of God. So that is what I could actually perceive meeting other people or discussing with them the points. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare
That was
Krishna.
Pranam.
Anybody else would like to say
Hare Krishna,
something?
Prabhuji.
Yes,
One,
Anita.
one of the very common answers that I received, especially after joining the Hare Krishna, this ISKCON and all, that because people discuss that in my office with me. So one of the very common answers that I receive is God is the one who created this one, who is taking care of this, who created, taking care, and the second answer that people believe that it's your belief. There is something. It could be a bindu. It could be anything. It's belief, like Paramatma, Atma the Paramatma ka milan types. So
Okay. Yes, Jai Shri Mataji. Interesting answers. Jai Shri Mataji, you're there?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
हाँ Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. The new generation believes that there is some form of energy. They say it is not God, but there is some form of energy which is the supreme controller. So they don't want to believe in any form of God.
Label anybody. Yes,
हाँ
God.
हाँ
Okay.
yes
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you so much. Gokul, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So for this, people come up with different opinions. So some tell even a nature can be considered as God. Some tell that God comes through the form of scriptures. Some tell that God can be worshipped in any forms. And we believe that God can also be worshipped as Paramatma since He is seated in our hearts. But we don't understand His presence due to we are contaminated a lot through the material nature. But and today in the present, some people believe that there's no such thing called God. It's completely a pure energy, and something that it's completely it's due to atheism. They tell that there's no such thing, there's no such person called God, and how can he create things? And why doesn't he come during a human's problems? But one thing I believe in Prabhu, because if God doesn't exist, how can the world and everything exist today?
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Sadhana Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। जैसे मतलब मेरे सराउंडिंग में जो लोग हैं, मतलब मैं भी शायद वैसे थी, ऐसे बोलते थे। मतलब अभी एक माता जी ने, एक प्रभु जी ने बताया कि जैसे वो, जैसे ज्यादा करके गणेश जी को, शिव जी को और हनुमान जी को, उनको गॉड मानते हैं। और कृष्णा को भी मानते हैं, लेकिन वो कृष्णा नहीं बोलते। जैसे बालाजी हैं, वो कृष्णा ही है, उनको गॉड मानते हैं, जाते हैं, ये सब करते हैं, मगर उनको कृष्णा नहीं मानते, गॉड मानते हैं। ऐसा ऐसा बोल। और उनके जो घर के जो देवी देवता होते हैं, कुल देवता, उनको वो ज्यादा करके गॉड मानते हैं।
Okay. So one
हरे
Galaxy
हरे
A,
कृष्ण।
thank you, Mataji, so much. A Galaxy A03 is giving an answer that different people has their own belief according to they worship whatever they worship, and they know to know Shri Krishna they must, yeah, they have to come to pure devotee, and only when they will come to know who is really God. This is too vast knowledge, no one can get it easily. That's one thought. Very nice. Thank you so much for everyone for participating. We'll continue. Please keep yourself closer to the mute button, and we can have more opportunities for discussion as we go along. So I think a lot of answers, a lot of right answers you all gave about uh, about who is God. So right from so the answer ranges. A lot of most of the answers will have a range of answers. Right from that there is no God, or there are many gods, or everyone is God. Have you anybody heard this? Every one of us is God only. We just don't know yet. I
Yes,
saw
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
saw a T-shirt that
In book distribution, we come.
they come across, yeah, and they tell that we are all God only. We have forgotten that we are God. Actually, we are only supreme God. We've forgotten that. I stopped searching for God outside when I realized that I am myself God. So that's conception a lot of people live with. Mother Nature is God. I think this is growing, especially with the natural disasters striking. They say that we are hurting the Mother Nature with the population, with the with all the of engineering that we do, and then all of that skyscrapers we build, the dams we try to change the course of nature, its natural course of nature, and that's creating disasters one after another. So Mother Nature is God for a lot of people. Science is God. I'm surprised nobody came up with this. Science is considered to be God, and yes, we there was a theory that in the when the science was making progress, was science newer scientists, different scientists were coming up with different theories, and around that time, church, the Pope and the church, at some point of time, they felt threatened. They felt threatened that people will, the science is offering so much facility, which everyone is become so much fond of, and eventually they will make science a pseudo god. They will say that if it cannot be proven scientifically, God doesn't exist. So they will consider science to be pseudo god. Science is because science is providing them, in the summer there it's providing them with air conditioners, they're feeling cold. In the winters, it's they're using heaters to, so God is creating a problem and science is solving the problem. If at all there is any God, or if at all there is any, all the problems today are solved by science, so why not consider science as God? So a lot of people actually believe in science being God, or some people, as a lot of you indicated, that says that there's no need for God anymore. The God is become an absolute concept. We can survive without God. We don't need for God. Another point that came up is only weak people search for God. That came up in some of our discussions also today. Son of God, messenger of God. This is where the Islam and Christianity talks about, and a lot of people actually consider some film stars, some sports icons, some famous politicians. They consider them as God. We've had certain parts of India, we have had temples of actors, film actors, and being made, and they've been given the godly status almost. And so in between, how do we understand who is right and what is the truth, what is the absolute truth? For that we need to turn to Guru Sadhu Shastra. Guru Sadhu Shastra will tell us independently what is, who is God and who is worthy of a worship, whom we should worship. If you will leave it to people's perception, with 20 people you will get 20 opinions, and it will never, nobody will ever be able to reach to a consensus, so to speak, that this is what it is. So that may never happen, and then we may just lose this opportunity of human life, in just debating about God rather than loving God, rather than finding out who is God and establishing a relationship with that God, so and establishing a loving relationship with that God, so that we can go back to Him at the end of our life. So, Guru is spiritual master, has learned the knowledge of scriptures in disciplic succession. Therefore, he is fit to give this knowledge without any adulteration. Sadhu, Sadhu is one who is trying to live life according to the instructions that he himself is teaching. So he is not doing something different. What has been taught in Bhagavad Gita, the sadhu try to follow the same to the T, to the best of his ability, and therefore he shows. So there is a knowledge. Sadhu gives example, and Shastra gives the knowledge. And the Guru creates facility. Shastra gives knowledge. Sadhu gives example, and spiritual master create facility for us to practice that knowledge. So Shastra is like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam will directly give us knowledge. What is the sadhya, what is the sadhan, and what is the ultimate goal? uh, that who is what is the sadhya to be perceived in life? Krishna is the sadhya. What is the sadhan? Bhakti yoga is the sadhan. And what is the prayojan, the ultimately what you want to achieve? We want to achieve love for God and ultimately go back to God. So that Shastra reveals this information in very clear way. Shastra is one factor which allows us allows intervention into our life. Our intervention in our life happens through Shastra. भगवत गीता अगर हम नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो जैसे हम जी रहे वैसे ही जिएंगे. So and we've acquired a swabhava, from our past life. We've acquired, all of us have a swabhava, and that swabhava, and based on our pious deeds in past, is been formed, or impious deeds, whatever actions we have performed in past, our swabhava for today has been formed. So some children, we say, are बहुत हट्टी है, बहुत जिद करते हैं. Some children are from very angry from the childhood. Some children are very peaceful from childhood. Some children are very helpful from childhood. Some children कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ करते हैं, तोड़फोड़ करते हैं. So this has become their nature because they have done these things in their previous lives. So they just carry forward from there. So all of us, we say we have a free will, and that free will we are able to exercise using Shastra like Bhagavad Gita. When we read Shastra, we see the need to use that free will. Otherwise, our most of our actions are predetermined, are driven by our gunas, sattva guna, rajaguna, or tamoguna, whichever we are into. They are driven by those gunas. So therefore, we have, we act as if we are being forced to act. But when we learn the Shastra, we our free will gets strengthened, and then we can do things otherwise. If Ekadashi is there on Thursday, we will fast. We will fast for Ekadashi. Even if there is urge to eat, there is a hunger inside our stomach, we will still fast. So this intervention happens when we learn Shastra. Sadhu is the one who show by example how to live according to the instructions given by Shastra. So he's and spiritual master actually help us create a facility, remove things which are obstacle in our life, to become a devotee, to accept devotional service, and practice devotional service. A spiritual master help us do those things. So Guru Sadhu Shastra, from there we will get real knowledge, and with that knowledge only we should be able to practice devotional service. Let's perceive, let's think about the need to have God. This doesn't happen immediately. We don't when we wake up, we don't start searching for guru, sadhu, shastra. Where is Bhagavad Gita? Where are devotees, and where is my spiritual master? We don't come to that platform very immediately. So our progression, as Sadhna Mataji was indicating, that maybe pehle वैसे थी. We were all there on the wrong side of things. And how it all started. So how do we start perceiving presence of God in our life, a need for God? How does it arise at all? So it doesn't happen immediately, it happens gradually and over multiple lifetimes. So it's not about, don't worry that if you're listening to Bhagavad Gita lecture right now, all 67 of you who are listening to the Bhagavad Gita lecture right now, it's not by accident you're here. You would have desired for it, you would have longed for it for many many lifetimes, and now because of those punya that you have performed in the past, you are now able to come to the platform where you are willing to, you feel like you want to listen to the scriptures, you want to understand scriptures more, you are desiring to learn scriptures and practice devotional service according to the instructions. So this come has come to you in our respective life through the practice, through the endeavor, through the desire expressed for multiple lifetimes. Initially we realize that we are not in control of the world around us. This is the first stage where we start thinking, if that we realize that we are actually not in control of the world around us. We see in the picture, the image, the example of water cycle, and which is so crucial, so essential, without which we can't survive, we can't live. So water is that element on which, we practically, which is so essential, but we have no control. We need rains so that crop can grow, harvest can happen, and we can get food. So our food depends on water. Annat bhavati bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. And so, but we have no control. We don't know if it will rain at all. This we may have a very hot summer, and we just hope that it will rain afterwards, and the crops will grow, and the grains will come, and we will get sufficient food for ourselves to eat for the next 1 year. But we have no control over it. Even if it doesn't rain, we don't know where to go and file a petition that God forgot to send rain in our area. Please punish him. They're just helpless. We're just helpless. So initially, this is the first stage, where we actually question ourselves that if we are not in control, then who is in control? Who is in control? When we see things happening in so much synchronization, we are able to predict the timing of high tide and low tide, the sunrise and sunset, the what is the monsoon, the wind direction, the wind speed we are able to predict. But we know that none of this, we are just counting it. We are just counting it. We are not creating it. We can't order a sun to rise at a particular time. But we know through our research, through our intelligence, through our mathematical calculation, that tomorrow sun may rise at so and so time. And most often, sun actually rise at that time. And with great accuracy, he follow our calculation. But he's not, we understand that he's not obliged to follow my calculation. I may have calculation done basis his past trend, basis his past behavior, but sun is not in my control. Oceans are not in my control. Winds are not in my control. I may predict rain, and we may get a perfectly bright sunny day. I have no, I cannot, I cannot fight with nature. I have no say. Even if it does not happen, if it happens, I may call myself as great in prediction, but if it doesn't happen, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to argue, no one to complain to. So, and when we see things happening, it's such great synchronization. We and we can logically understand that this cannot happen automatically. We entering a mall, any big malls today, we have automatic doors. As you approach towards the door, there's a full glass wall that you see in front of you. As you approach towards it, suddenly it parts from the center and the door opens wide and you are able to go inside. um, we know it's automatic. But we also know that the human brain has set up those sensors, because of which the door senses the movement and opens it. And so it's not automatic, doesn't mean there's no visibly a person who is pressing a button for door to open. But the same person would have placed those sensors. When they sense movement, they open, they act. So we know that the human intelligence is present. Some higher beings are in control, even if nothing visibly, there is nobody. Similarly, when nature act with such precision, nature act with such consistency and such accuracy, it's not very difficult for us to understand that all this is happening because somebody is in control. They might not be visible today, but it's foolish to reject their presence. It's foolish to say that this door see me coming, therefore it's opening. But it will open even if you come, or if somebody else come. Even if a dog comes, it will open. So there is superior being in control, and that fact one cannot deny, simply by observing the nature around us. The all these all these elements of water, air, fire, and all of these elements, they work in perfect harmony with each other. So even if we say that water department is controlled by one person, and air department is controlled by another person, and oceans are controlled by some other person, even if we assume that there are different personalities in charge of all of these, uh, why the reason that they all work in perfect harmony with each other, um, also suggest us that there could be someone who is superior, who is supervising them, superior to them and supervising them. There could be somebody who is superior to them and supervising them, because of which, when the CEO is there, the other functions work in perfect harmony with each other. So it's not difficult for us to uh, infer in that way that there should be one supreme being. Now, all of them are great personalities, must be great personalities. If you are in control of wind, you cannot be an ordinary person. If you are control of oceans, you cannot be an ordinary person. If you are control of rains, you're not an ordinary person. But there, because these people work in perfect harmony with each other, it is easy to perceive that they also must be having a supervisor under whose control they act, they are working. But it's not all rosy all the time. We see natural disasters striking. We have tornado, the wind god becomes mad and then send winds with great speed, which blow things away, blow cities away. A flood, when the rain god becomes mad, goes mad, they pour so much rain that our houses, our cars, our buildings start drowning. The wildfire, the fire god. Uh, happens all the time, that the jungles in Australia are caught by fire. Nobody started it, but nobody could end it. It was become so difficult to control those fires. That's what forest fires are all about. Earthquakes, Nepal earthquake was so disastrous. um, the drought, we see the land, the when rains doesn't come in large quantity, there's a problem of flood. When it doesn't come at all, there's a problem of drought. Tsunami, when oceans decide to visit cities or villages on the and inside the land, and then they pay a visit to the cities to see how dirty they are. So let me wash them all completely. And that tsunami, we've had multiple of those a few years back in India itself, witnessed those landslides and typhoons. So At one level, when the when these things strikes, when natural disaster strikes, everyone suffers in such a helpless way. Everyone suffers helplessly. We just don't know what to do. uh, Brutal power of nature, when we witness, we become helpless. And all of those who witness tsunami, especially in South India, can still have those memories. The 26th July flood in Mumbai is still fresh in many people's mind. So these are not man-made disasters, so to say. At one level, we will bring awareness about the brutal power of God, or his greatness, and the need for human beings to be in harmony with him. Need for human beings to be in harmony with him. So this will make us aware. Such disaster strikes, they make us aware that um, that there are superior beings in control, and they have superior powers. I mean, their powers have no match. No, we'll have to suffer helplessly if at all, they become if at all they get angry. And why they get angry? When we don't live life in harmony with them. The Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 contains instructions of how we should be offering sacrifices for the satisfaction of the demigods. If we cannot do that, at least do it for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. If you cannot do that for any reason, at least do it for the satisfaction of the demigods. But if you're not doing it, if you're just consuming, if you're just taking everything, grabbing everything, snatching away everything, extracting everything for your own pleasure, for your own consumption, without offering, without giving any sacrifice, uh, you're a thief and you're a sinner. And a society of thieves and sinners cannot be happy. So we have to be in harmony with God. At another level, people will raise question on the existence of God himself and his kindness towards his children. If at all God is there, a God is considered to be all loving, all fair, and all kind. When such incidences happens in our countries or in world in general, people could raise these questions. Is God really there? Why, if he's there, how can he be so brutal? Why he's killing so many of his children mercilessly? That is the question. So to in order, so to rhetorically they say, because he's doing it so mercilessly, maybe he doesn't exist only. Maybe if he, even if he's there, he's become cruel now. He's no more all loving, all caring, all kind God. No, that fair God. There's no fairness in him. So many innocent children get killed in flood. They get flown away. They get in earthquakes. The buildings come crashing, and for no fault of their, these children get killed. So many old people get killed. So many young people get killed. Those who have not even enjoyed their life properly, they get killed. And what is so? Is God really all loving? Is God really all fair? Is God really exist? Does he really exist? Many such discussions will end up with the conclusion that there is practically probably no God. Even if he's there, he's probably dead, or he doesn't care, or whatever. It will push people towards atheism, which says that practically there is no God. Let's take for an example. You may wish to fly from Mumbai to Delhi. I'm using example of Mumbai because this is not a Mumbai airport, but I live in Mumbai. So if you may wish to fly from say Mumbai to Delhi, please make a list of things which are in your control and you can do, and things which are not in your control, but you hope they will happen favorably for you so that you can ultimately go to Delhi. So let's raise hand and see what all you have to say about things which you can do. If you wish to go from Mumbai to Delhi by air, what is it all that you need to do? Kanchan Mataji. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Babuji Dandat. We can try to get out from our home to reach the airport in time, but then beyond it, it is beyond our control to reach there in time, because we can hope there will be not be a traffic, or we can judge a time of the traffic, but it is not up to the date that we might reach early also, we might reach late also, and we might reach at the time also. After that, there also, when once we enter the airport, we are not sure whether we'll be able to fly. There might be some incidences, there might be some calls, there might be some situation wherein we need to drop. But we are hoping this, yes, we'll board the flight and we reach there. And once we are on the flight, there also can be weather changes, there can be some other challenges which the pilot might face. So till the time we land, we are not sure. And it is actually beyond our control. We can only, I think, we can think and hope that we leave on time, reach on time, and reach the destination as well.
Okay. So quite a lot of list. So we can go. Yeah, Gokul Prabhuji, Sudeep Prabhuji, and then we'll summarize.
So Hare Krishna Prabhu. So the one thing that we can control or you can do is like when you're going from Mumbai to Delhi is our punctuality at what time we are getting from our place. And also like the vehicle we take up, it's up to us. Either you go by train or a car or a tuk or something. And also the next thing is, and once we go to the airport, we have to, the things that we can make sure is the objects that we are taking. And also, and once we reach back to Delhi, it's how we can go back to our destinated places, and things that is not in our control is the seat we are going to get or how our driver is going to take us, and also the Mumbai city's traffic that we can't predict at any time. And
Okay.
also the next thing is, and also the technical errors in the flight. So
Okay.
these are certain things we can't control.
Yeah. So yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sudeep Prabhuji, you want to say something, Alishan?
No, Prabhuji, I think whatever I wanted to say has already been covered, so nothing in addition.
Okay, wonderful. So there are things which we can do definitely. If we wish to go to Delhi, we can purchase an airline ticket properly. We can make sure that we mark that day on the calendar when we have to fly. We start ahead of time. Mataji also suggested that considering the time span, that you have an estimate, and so you start really early. Make sure that you choose the proper right mode of transport, and you can go into the airport ahead of time, get yourself clear from the security, get collect your boarding pass, go through the personal security and go to the gate, not roam around in the shopping area forgetting that why you came here and your flight is missed, then you have to be blamed. But finish whatever you want to do at the airport, go to the gate and wait patiently for the flight to start boarding. And when the boarding begins, you actually go inside the aeroplane, find your own seat and sit. These are the things broadly, which are in our control, and one should do that if one has a desire to go to Delhi. But there are numerous things in between and after this, which are actually not in our control, which we hope will happen in our favor, will act in our favor, so that we are actually able to go to Delhi. Right, starting from that you don't meet with an accident from while traveling from, you get a vehicle, you may book a taxi, may not come, and you may have to change plans. And even if it comes, it reaches airport without any casualty, you really have no control over that. Once inside the airport, once you land, get yourself into the flight, there are many things, everything else after that actually is not in our control. So there is a whole list of things which are not in our control. The airline should function that day, not in our control. The airline staff should turn up for work on that day, not in our control. The pilot should not come drunk on that day, not in our control. The flight shouldn't have technical defect, not in our control. There shouldn't be a threat, a bomb threat in the Mumbai airport, not in our control. Or in Delhi airport, not in our control. There shouldn't be a terrorist attack in any one of these airports, not in our control. Weather should be good in both the places, not in our control. Weather in Delhi should be good. Sometimes in winter the flights get diverted. We may take off from Mumbai, perfectly good weather, but on the way the Delhi may refuse to land. People may refuse to land. They say, "Oh, send them to Jaipur," and we may end up landing in Jaipur. The file shouldn't crash in between in air. The flight shouldn't get hijacked in between. One of the flight was taken to Nepal. It was hijacked. So, if you think, make a list of things which are actually not in our control, but which we hope will be in our, which will happen favorably to us. Um, so that our wish or desire can be fulfilled, actually are in control of somebody else, and that somebody else is God. This is how we can see at a level of, at a natural level, at a level of nature, mother nature, mother, we can see things, we can see things, that how, we are not in control, how somebody else is in control. And at our personal level also, we can see how somebody else is playing a big role in our life for us to become successful. So it's a small desire of, of going to Delhi, and we see that without God's sanction, none of those things are actually possible for us to. So we may do things which are in our control, but we may not get the end result unless and until it also has a sanction from God. In Bhagavad Gita, starting from this section, Krishna starts giving direct information about God, He Himself, and of all the living entities as well as devatas and demigods. So God's greatness is not to be ignored. It should make everyone humble and submissive to Him. Now, just by this, imagining that, if we have to reach Delhi, how much dependence we have on something which is not in our control. We just pray, we just hope that it will happen properly for us, and we will actually end up reaching in Delhi. But even if it doesn't happen, we have we have no, I mean, there is no way, we can't, we have, there is no way, there is nowhere to go and petition against this not happening. Because if weather is bad, who will you file a case against? So we just have to hope, we just have to pray that things will happen in favor of us. Now, this is actually faced by everyone. Those who believe in God, those who don't believe in God. Everyone goes through this controlled and uncontrolled situation. The the best of cricketers, many cricketers have many superstitions. Why? It's not that they believe that if they do though, if they follow those superstitions, they will become successful. And it's not that they don't practice enough sufficiently, they depend on their superstitions to give them success. That's not the case. But they understand that no matter how hard they practice, no matter how hard they work to add their skills, there is an unknown factor, because of and if that unknown factor doesn't act in favor of them, they will not be successful. Sachin Tendulkar used to tie his left pad first. He used to not speak after having tied pads on both the legs, before, until the time comes for him to step into the ground for batting. He will not speak with anyone, he will not take any calls, he will be in this silence zone, because he believes that if he were to speak with people, he will get out cheaply. A lot of people have such superstitions, and this is their way of harmonizing with that unknown. They don't know who that unknown is and why that unknown sometimes give them success, sometimes give them failure. But they, by following such some rituals, some superstitions, they want to be in line with that unknown. So everyone is doing it, no matter who you meet. Everyone is aware that they are not in full control of their life. Everyone is also aware that someone else is calling the shots, as they say in corporate world. And they are helplessly sometimes all the times they're big, just helplessly accepting those decisions. If a storm comes in Mumbai, the flight may not take off only. Can't help, can't argue, can't debate. Just helplessly accept the decision. If smoke comes, fog comes in Delhi, flight refuses to land. You can't blame the smoke. You can't blame the fog. You can't blame God for that. Just accept it helplessly. So this is God's greatness. Sometimes we witness in our life, and it makes us humble. It should make us humble. It should make us submissive to Him. We are helpless. I want to speak about the other natural disasters when they come, like earthquake, like the tsunami, like the tornadoes. If they come, and when they come, what to speak about those disasters? There, though everyone is helpless. So here it's our helpless situation. But there, when the natural disasters come striking, the whole nation come on its knees. And so we shouldn't be ignorant. We shouldn't be foolishly ignoring presence of God, presence of somebody who is controlling our life and somebody who's controlling the nature. So in this humble, submissive mood, we can we can actually think about who can that be separate, who that great power is, and if they bless us, our life becomes, our life can become blissful, resourceful. And if they curse us, we can suffer miserably. So this is not a loving way of approaching God. We are now here. We are going to God for out of fear, out of desire, or out of gratitude. The best way to approach God is out of love, and this is what Krishna reveals in Bhagavad Gita. Beyond Krishna's greatness is his all attractive, sweet, lovable nature. He is a person, and therefore he is reciprocal. A person will reciprocate. A person will reciprocate. A principle cannot reciprocate. A law of gravity cannot reciprocate. So even if you throw a stone down from a building, it will fall down. If you throw a child from a building, the child will also fall down. Why? Because law of gravity is a principle. It's not a person. As person can differentiate, a person can reciprocate. When a child is about to fall, a person will feel the pain and he may save the child. But a principle works equally on both stone as well as on the child. But Krishna is not a principle. Krishna is a person. And because he is a person, he can be loving. He can be sweet. He can be lovable. He can be attractive. And he can reciprocate with us, with to our desires, to our desires, to our service. He can reciprocate. And to know Krishna and to know about Krishna are different things. So all of us may know about Krishna, but devotees, um, some all of us knows Krishna, but devotees know about Krishna. So the tattvataha, this is the bifurcate, this is the differentiation in knowing Krishna and knowing about Krishna. A, a doctor, when examines a child, he comes to know a lot of information he can gather by examining a child. He do a blood test, he make know what is his blood group, what is his hemoglobin level, what is his bodily temperature, what is his health quotient, and what is his pressure, and so a doctor can come to know a lot of things, lot of information about the child by examining child. So he know about about the child. On the other hand, the child's mother, who doesn't know any of this information, because she's not, when child is sitting on her lap, she's not busy checking his temperature. She is just loves, she just loves the child. So mother, on the other hand, may not have all the information that the doctor may have, but she knows the child, and she's having a loving relationship with that child. Out of love, she knows when the child may feel hungry. She knows when child may may get a in the winter when child is feeling cold. Mother knows it. In the middle of night, she wakes up and put a blanket on the child. If when because because without child asking, she knows that child is feeling the cold, and she comforts the child by giving another blanket. She knows the child. She may not know about the child, which doctor may know, but out of loving relationship that she has with the child, she knows the child. To know the child, the doctor must develop a personal relationship with the child. It involves effort, and brain surgeon may be upset with his wife. Now he cannot know what is why his wife is upset by running brain scans on her brain. He has to explore his relationship angle, because he has to become to the level of person, and as a relation in as a husband, he has to speak with his wife to find out what is wrong with her. Maybe he must have forgotten her birthday or their anniversary or birthday of his mother-in-law, whatever. But he has to he cannot, using instruments, he cannot find out why his wife is upset with him. A heart specialist cannot comfort a heartbroken spouse by performing a surgery. He has to comfort her. He has to be with her as a person. He has to invest in her emotions to be able to find out why is she upset. So so that is how we have to act in that way. We have to act in that way. Knowing about Krishna is not enough. We have to know Krishna, and in order to know Krishna, we have to invest ourselves in the process of knowing Krishna. That process of knowing Krishna is through by devotional service, by chanting his name, by learning his principles and following his principles that are given by him in Bhagavad Gita, by accepting his instructions as heart and soul, by becoming submissive to him, by becoming his servant, by becoming developing loving relationship with him, by learning more and more about him. so so this knowledge about Krishna is a transformational knowledge. It is not information, it is transformation. It should lead to transformation, and that is why this knowledge is different. Bhagavad Gita is not a information book, it's a transformation book. Beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is crying, sitting in his chariot, refusing to fight. End of Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara. The same Partha who had given up his Gandiva bow has become a Dhanurdhara Partha. He's picked up his bow and he's now ready to fight. So we see a transformation, a 180-degree transformation in Arjuna. Similarly, by studying Bhagavad Gita, we are expected to transform our values, transform our process practices, and become Krishna conscious. And by becoming Krishna conscious, we have to purify our heart, purify our uh, come to the sattvic lifestyle, and then become lovers of God. Krishna is complete. He doesn't require anything from us. He doesn't definitely require anything from all of us. But he must not also achieve anything. He has everything. He is complete. Um, the external as well as internal. He's Atmaram. He's called as Atmaram. Therefore, he doesn't need anything from us. So, but if he has to reciprocate with us. He has to do something. He has to do something for us in our life. He has to how can one reciprocate? One can reciprocate uh, by he acts. Krishna acts only out of pure love for his devotees, even though he doesn't need anything. He doesn't want anything. He acts only out of pure love for the devotees. He come he appears in this planet, on this planet, perform pastimes, because it gives pleasure to his devotees. Knowing his greatness and knowing his sweetness, his love for us, we can also direct our heart towards him. And when we do that, Krishna reciprocate with us. Krishna reciprocate with us when we direct our heart towards Him. And we do that by learning about His greatness and about His sweetness. His greatness is explained in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Sweetness, all His pastimes are described in the Bhagavatam. And by learning these two things, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we can direct our heart towards Him. We can give our heart towards Him. Knowing him to be the supreme cause of all causes, we can become submissive and lovingly start serving him in a loving way. And when Krishna see us do this, he is now ready to reciprocate with us. How exactly Krishna reciprocates? So in any relationship between the two people, now we've concluded that Krishna is a person and we all of us are also persons. And if we want Krishna to reciprocate with us, at a one-to-one level, um, now that the relationship between two people is founded, is based on certain principles. There has to be mutual need for one another. If one is in a relationship with another, one has to understand that there has to be one, everyone should be felt needed. Everyone should, both the people in the relationship should felt needed. For one should, that I'm needed by the other person needs me, or I need other person. This need factor should be there in the relationship. Value factor should be there. I should feel being valued by the other person with whom I'm in a relationship. If I'm not felt needed, if I'm not felt valued, I will not want to be in a relationship for a long time with such a person. Where we are not valued, where we don't feel needed, people feel कि आप यहाँ हो नहीं हो doesn't matter. That's not a very um, ideal background for a relationship to blossom. So we should be felt needed, we should be felt valued. Our contribution should be valued in the relationship, and we should be appreciation. There should be appreciation for one another. And so these three things, a basis which a relationship blossoms, a relationship becomes get nourished. And if we want to have a relationship with Krishna, these three things should be there in the relationship. In that relationship also, we should be felt needed, we should be felt valued, and we should be appreciated. Our contribution should get appreciated. Now we know that Krishna doesn't need anything. Krishna, everything is owned and controlled by Krishna. So Krishna, what contribution Krishna can value? And even if no matter whatever we do, how can Krishna can have appreciation for us? We may need Krishna, we may value Krishna, we may appreciate Krishna, but if it is one way, that will not be a very great relationship. So if it becomes two way, then that becomes a great relationship. So Krishna is so great that he doesn't need anything. He's satisfied with himself. But when he see someone is directing his love towards him, he happily reciprocates to make us needed, make us feel valued, needed and appreciated. We'll see a couple of examples when Krishna actually reciprocates with some of his devotees. So his greatness is he happily takes an inferior position to let his devotee feel valued, needed, and loved by him. So he takes a inferior position because he is not fearful of anyone. But when he see that his father Nanda Maharaj wants to protect Krishna as a father, he becomes fearful when he hears the thunder of the cloud at night. And he said, Baba, I am fearful. And then Baba comes and grabs him and hugs him. And then in Baba's uh, arms he sleeps at the night. Now Krishna is actually not fearful. Krishna is even fear personified, is fearful of Krishna. But Krishna takes that, if he gives up his supreme position and comes lower, comes to a position where he actually act like a child, act like a one who is actually fearful. Krishna doesn't need anything to be fed to him. Everything is owned and controlled by him. Everything belongs to him. But same Krishna goes and steal butter from the house of elderly gopis who wanted to see Krishna in their home. So it's not that Krishna is hungry for butter, but he's hungry for love. And giving up his supreme position, he comes down, behaves like a child, a naughty child who enters home of some of the residents in his village and steals butter. He's makhanchor. So he's so great that he gives up. He doesn't care about his supreme position also. He doesn't even care about his supreme position also, and he is happy to give up that supreme position, take an inferior position, so that his devotees can feel they are needed in the relationship. Nanda Baba can feel that Krishna needs him. Krishna, Krishna needs him because he feels fearful. Yashoda Maya can feel that her presence, her existence is valued by Krishna, because every time Krishna feels hungry, he comes running to her, and then she feeds him with. She gives him nice food. He feels very happy. So her contribution is valued by Krishna. Krishna value her presence in his life, and Krishna appreciates both his parents. He loves back his parents, and so both, all the devotees in all these pastimes, they felt needed, they felt valued, and they felt appreciated by Krishna. And that happens only because Krishna reciprocate, comes down, comes give up his superior position, and Krishna accept a inferior position, and then accept the services from his devotees. Another beautiful example of reciprocation. We celebrated Akshay Tritiya on 30th of April. So this event took place on the Akshay Tritiya day in Dwarka. Can somebody would like to describe this beautiful pastime? Can raise hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, in this, as His Grace Nottam Priya Prabhuji beautifully actually explained this past time, that Sudama goes to visit his childhood friend, Lord Krishna, and he takes with him the bagged chipped rice. And here, in this scene, in this picture, beautiful picture of Lord, we are seeing that Lord is actually washing feet, which is one tradition that whoever comes at our home, that his feet should be washed. And Lord Krishna was out of so much love for Lord Sudama that he started washing his feet with his tears. And this in this picture, it is just shown that he is just putting the water from conch shell, but he was actually literally shedding tears and was washing his feet. So Lord Krishna is that greatly reciprocal with his devotees. He was his childhood friends. So a beautiful reciprocation of Lord's love towards Sudama is actually exhibited in this pastime. And this goes on actually, like when he then, because he's Paramatma and he is sitting in the heart of everyone, he gets to know that Sudama has brought something, and these are the bagged chipped rice, and Lord eats that and relishes eating that, and gives a whole lot of opulences to Sudama, and in that way he even without getting Sudama to know, he reciprocates so beautifully with Sudama, which in addition, and which is the in love he reciprocates with Sudama, that was actually very much visible to Sudama also. And in that the great relishment could be felt even by hearing this particular pastime of the Lord. Hare Krishna Guru.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Roji. Atula Mataji, want to say?
Yes, yes. I would like to say that from this we can learn one thing, that Lord Krishna is so humble. Though he is a great Lord, he goes and washes Sudama's feet, and of course he has a great relationship of friendship with him. So I think humility is what we need to learn from this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Another picture.
Hare Krishna.
Somebody else can speak.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
There is one other pastime as well when Krishna hands over the Akshay Patra to Draupadi.
Uh, no, this is a fruit seller pastime.
Okay,
The second picture.
okay. Yeah, the fruit seller comes
Hare
and
Krishna,
visits
Prabhuji.
Yes. Um, who would like to speak? Who would like to describe this one?
हरे कृष्ण
Uh,
प्रभु जी।
हाँ, साधना.
ये
Yes.
जो है ना, ये माता जी मतलब ये जो गोपी है ना, वो फ्रूट सेलर थी। वो कृष्णा को पूछ मतलब वृंदावन में वो पूछ रही थी, कृष्णा मतलब फ्रूट सेल कर रही थी। तो सब लोग बोल रहे थे कि एक लड़का कृष्णा है यहाँ पे, उनको दे दो, ऐसा कुछ मैंने सुना है। तो वो सुनते सुनते जाती है, फिर कृष्णा का नाम लेते लेते जाती है। पहले वो फल ले लो ऐसे बोलते जाती है, कृष्णा के बारे में सुन के फिर वो फ्रूट ले लो, गोविंद ले लो, माधव ले लो, ऐसे बोलते बोलते जाती है। फिर कृष्णा के घर पे जाती है। फिर जाने के बाद कृष्णा को फ्रूट्स ऑफर करती है। तो कृष्णा बोलते मेरे पास तो कुछ नहीं है। तो फिर कृष्णा कुछ मुट्ठी में चावल या गेहूं लेकर आते हैं, वैसे पास टाइम है। वो थोड़े से गेहूं वगैरह लेके आते हैं, चावल, पर वो भी गिर जाता है। थोड़ा बहुत जो उनके टोकरी में डालते हैं, वही बाद में ऐसे ये फल जैसा बन जाते हैं। वैसा कृष्णा रेसिप्रोकेट करते हैं, ऐसा थोड़ा
Okay.
बहुत याद है।
Yeah, thank
प्रॉपर
you
नहीं
so much.
किया मैंने, पता।
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Uh, so Hare Krishna. Let's see. Sudama pastime, very beautiful pastime. Sudama, a Gurukul friend of Lord, living in extreme poverty. His wife suggested, "Oh Brahmana, isn't it true that the husband of goddess of fortune is your personal friend and exalted self? That greatest Yadavas of Supreme Lord Krishna is compassionate to Brahmanas and very willing to grant him his shelter." So this way she urged Sudama Brahmana to go to Krishna and seek help for so that their material poverty-stricken situation can improve. Sudama became extremely happy simply with the thought that he's going to go and meet Krishna after a long, long time. Krishna personally served Sudama and gave him grand welcome. As Prabhuji described, he washed his feet as a so this is a Brahminical culture. If a Brahmana, learned Brahmana, a pure devotee comes to your home, you should receive him, make him sit on the throne, the best chair that you have, and wash their feet. Ask for seva, give them comfort, give them so ask for some service, and exactly Krishna being a even though he's supreme person of Godhead, when he's playing role of a king, he is demonstrating by his personal example how he should reciprocate with his devotees. um, so Sudama is a devotee as well as he's a Brahmana. So Lord accepted the flat price sent by his Sudama's wife for him, and all the queens and the residents of Dwarka were astonished to see Krishna act in this way. How much respectful he was, how much loving he was to Sudamas. Uh, Krishna resides in the heart of everyone, and Sudama was his pure devotee and friend. So even without asking, Krishna gave Sudama unlimited riches. Sudama was happy while returning. After meeting Krishna, he returned back to his home. While leaving the palace, he realized that he has not even asked for why he came here for, what he came here for. He came here for asking for some help from his friend so that their home situation can improve. And he forgot, he didn't even bother to ask. He never asked that for him, but he didn't care for it. He didn't care for it. He's a pure devotee, and he was extremely happy uh, by just meeting his Lord, by meeting his friend. So, uh, in that happy mood, he reached home. He went back and he reached home, and to his astonishment, he found out that his wife or his home has now turned into a palace, and they have a lot of riches. And whatever the material desire that he had in his heart, which he didn't even express, but Lord fulfilled that without even asking. So, so this is one incidence. Second one is the fruit seller, another beautifully described by Sadhana Mataji. Old fruit seller, low caste woman. She wanted to. She's only heard about Krishna. That Krishna lives a child in the Vrindavana. It's very beautiful, very attractive, very nice, and he has only heard of Krishna. She's not a gopi. She's not seen Krishna ever. She's never visited Vrindavan Dham ever. So, but she, by simply hearing about Krishna, she's become his devotee, and she's now constantly meditating on Krishna. And instead of fruit, she's saying Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Now Krishna knew, Krishna is in with great anxiety, great desire to see Krishna. At least once she came to Vrindavan. Krishna is in heart of everyone, so he knew her desire. So he arranged things in such a way that when she visited his home, there was no one, and a small baby Krishna. Uh, he has seen how his father does barter. When they give grain, they give milk, and then they get grains. They give grains, they get some cloth. So he knew that this is how it works. So if he wants fruit, he has to give something, and he brings some uh, one muthi of grains from home. And while it said that while walking, uh, half of those grains he dropped inside the home only, and whatever small quantity that was left, he gave it to this fruit seller vendor. And then he says, and now he want the fruit. So she became so happy simply by getting darshan of Lord of her heart, uh, without realizing any commercial application, without realizing any commerce. About commerce, she gave away all the fruits in her tokri to Lord. So Krishna couldn't even hold everything, but she gave away everything to Krishna without caring how much grace he has given. Seeing no one is around, she requested that they say that your name is Mukunda, all right? So you're just given me cheap rice. I want you to give me something more. Then Krishna says, what do you want? They say, you sit on my lap, look into my eyes, and call me Maya at least once. If can you do that? And then Krishna looked here, looked around everywhere, and he saw no one is watching. Then he went swiftly into her lap, sat on her lap, looked into her eyes, and says, Maya. And then he hurriedly got up and moved away from her. She was very happy. Her heart was filled with joy, and then she lifted her tokri, empty tokri, on her head and started walking back to her village, to her home. And she started singing while as she was she was going. She started singing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. As she reached near Yamuna, she felt her her basket has become very heavy on her head. And then, to her astonishment, when she saw her basket was filled with all precious jewels, she threw all those jewels in the in Yamuna and continue singing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Like that, she went on singing, and no one saw her after that. So this is Lord's reciprocation with his devotees. With knowledge about Krishna that we learn from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we can get devoted to Krishna. Now, at this stage, we can offer all our activities to Krishna. Make this can make our karma free from any reactions. When we work for Krishna, uh, when we we may not be able to directly work for Krishna, but we may give part whatever we earn out of our working, we give that portion to Krishna. Whatever is in our heart, we give it to Krishna. Whatever we consider valuable, we give it to Krishna. When we do that, all our actions become karma free. It's like a soldier going on a battlefield and killing the enemy soldiers gets rewarded. But the same soldier, if he kills his neighbor, he gets punishment. So as long as we continue to act for Krishna, uh, we eat, we offer our food to Krishna and eat it as prasad. We can offer everything that we get from for our own consumption to Krishna first, and then use it for our own self. That way, we can make our actions karma free from any reactions. And this should not be done with the fear of getting karmic reactions to save ourselves from karmic reactions, but this should be done out of love for Krishna. When we do it out of love, we perform pure devotional service. Is Krishna responsible for suffering in this world? well, well, yes and no. Krishna is Pradhan Karan or ultimate cause, but Krishna is not Nimitta or immediate cause. Having created the system of karma and karma phala, he is ultimately responsible. Just like government may create a rule that if you if you jump signal, if you drive when the signal is red, you will be charged a fine of 2000 rupees. Or if you will exceed your speed to beyond 120 in this zone, you will be penalized. Now, government is responsible for making the rule and installing mechanism to capture those who violate the rule and punish them. So, but when you get punished, is government responsible or you are responsible? So, government is responsible because government created this rule and also made arrangements for catching those who are violating this rule. But he is not ultimate. He is the ultimate cause, not the immediate cause. Government didn't encourage you to break the law. You, your by your own choice, were driving when the signal was red. So when we act against the instructions of Krishna and uh, create a karma phala which results into suffering, we have ourselves to blame. We have ourselves to blame. We can't blame Krishna for creating this system of punishment, because he created a system of punishment but also gave us knowledge how not to break the rule. We could have stopped when the signal is red. We could have driven when the signal is green. We would not have suffered the punishment. But but we choose to do otherwise. Therefore, we are caught and now we are being punished. So, if anyone performs bad karma and gets a suffering as a reaction to Krishna, to it, Krishna is not responsible. It may rain in a place where someone it may rain in a place and somewhere crop may grow and some place weed may grow, and all both of that happens because of our karma. If I have taken care of sowing plowing the land and sowing the seed, when the rain comes, crop may grow there. But if I'm careless, I'm lazy, I'm thinking rain will never come only, and out of my laziness, I did not plow the land and sown the seed. And if rain comes, the weeds will grow. Now, weed I cannot sell and get anything out of it. Crop I can sell. I can consume it myself. I can sell it to others and get my other needs satisfied. So what we get is is outcome of what we have done. Is outcome of what we have done. So even if when we get suffering, it's because we have done something wrong. We don't get somebody else's suffering. So because we have done, we get reactions of our own actions. We get what we deserve, not what we want. And that is how the the good and the bad and the ugly reactions that comes in our life. We are responsible for those, not Krishna. Krishna is not partial, but he's reciprocal. A principle should be neutral. A person should be reciprocal. We discussed about the law of gravity. Even if a stone is thrown or a child is thrown, both will fall down because principle is neutral. But and if somebody is that like that, it becomes impossible to develop any loving relationship with such a person. So we should be reciprocal. But when a person is reciprocal, when Krishna is reciprocal, it's much easier to develop relationship with him. Summarize, we discussed today verse from fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. We've only discussed the first part of that verse. We have not even touched the second part of that verse, that mama vartnama anuvartante manusha partha sarvasha, that how everyone is on the same path of Krishna. But ye yathamam prapadyante, it's such an important verse that Krishna says, I reciprocate. As you surrender to me, I reciprocate. If your surrender is 100%, I reciprocate 100%. And that's what the case with all his pure devotees in Vrindavan. So they were 100% surrendered to Krishna. They loved Krishna, and Krishna reciprocated with them in the most perfect way. So he was the best child. He was the perfect child for Mother Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya. He was the perfect lover for gopis. He was perfect a son of for so a perfect friend for his gopas, and like that, he reciprocated with everyone in all the rasas that they were seeking to reciprocate with Lord. So they had Vatsalya ras. Krishna acted like a child. They had a Madhurya ras. He perfectly acted like a lover. So a loving relationship has both elements. There's the sweetness and there's the spice, and he provided both to gopis. Sometimes though, when he would get separated, there is a viraha, and in that viraha, people, the gopis would say, we are burning, we feel as if we are burning in the separation of from you, O Krishna, and we relish this more than your presence. So we see you more in your separation than we saw you in when you're present in front of us. So he perfectly reciprocated with his with gopis in the Madhurya Ras. He perfectly reciprocated with entire village of Vrindavan in Shantaras, Sakhya Ras, all kind of rasas. He was just enjoying all kind of relationships, and he was perfectly reciprocal with everyone. So, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna introduces himself, establishes himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, there are Devatas and there is Krishna. And there is superior Krishna and inferior Devatas. They are not to be disrespected, but they're not to be worshipped. Krishna should be worshipped. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not only God of all living entities, but also He is a God of Devatas. He is attractive, He is sweet, and He is lovable. Reciprocity is not Krishna's partiality, but it is a proof of his personality. A person can be reciprocal, a principle cannot be. So it's not his partiality that he's favoring some devotees, but it's proof of his personality that it's a proof that he's a person. Knowledge about him can transform us to direct our feeling towards him. And when we take this effort, Krishna make us feel needed, valued, and suitably, he can reciprocate with us also. So it's not his reciprocation is not just limited to the devotees from Vrindavan. He is reciprocating with all of us as well. And that's why we have 59 people in this call, in this meeting, discussing Bhagavad Gita. We want his this is his reciprocation, coming through devotees, coming through scriptures, coming through guru, coming through instructions, and that's how he's attracting our heart towards him. And if we continue with our effort, we will he will reciprocate more, and we will love him more, and he will reciprocate more, and again we will love more, and this has no end. We can do this in this lifetime, and after going back to Krishna, we can continue doing this in Golok Vrindavan. There is no end to how much more we can love Krishna. There's no end to it. It's endless, endless. Reciprocation is also endless. Our devotees' love towards Krishna is also endless. And that's the sweetest part of becoming a devotee of Lord Krishna. We'll conclude with a tip about chanting. It's important to pronounce clearly, and we hear as we chant. And it's also important that we understand the meaning of Mahamantra. We are begging to Radha Krishna to engage in our devotional service, in their devotional service. And by chanting in sincere mood, we show our intent and we show our effort. Now, seeing this, Krishna reciprocate with us, okay, giving us knowledge, giving us understanding of his scriptures, giving us sending devotees in our life who can help us become a better devotee, who can help us come closer to Krishna. So this is his mercy, and we develop taste for chanting and the holy name and performing devotional service. We'll just break for some questions before we conclude today's session. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have a particular question. Like, when we so basically the question is like, how does the astrological charts of a person work if he surrenders completely to Krishna? Is it like the astrology will lose the value, or like, because Krishna tells, when you completely surrender to me, I take complete care of your life, and you are under my.
Google Prabhu, can you repeat your question? What is the question exactly?
No, no, it's not a research question or anything, because once I read an article that was told by Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So when a person surrenders completely to Krishna, his astrological charts or the prediction will not work anymore for him, because he completely comes under the Krishna conscious. And also he advises, when it's raining, it's better you have to take an umbrella with you.
Hmm. Okay, so that's true. Um, once you come to Krishna consciousness, actually, it's possible. It's very evident that you see your destiny changing, and it's we've seen this happen in case of many devotees. Many senior devotees, many foreign devotees. Atul Krishna Prabhuji is born in Australia. Australia, a land where there are no etiquettes. They called their prime minister also mate. So that same person is teaching Vaishnava etiquettes to Indians, and he says our karmas change because we surrendered to Krishna and our karmas change. Our karma when we were born in Australia, if we would have drawn a horoscope of or kundli, and the horoscope predictions would not have resulted into me teaching Vaishnava etiquettes to Indians. So as because of the mercy from our Guru, because of the mercy from Prabhupada, because of mercy from Lord Krishna, our predictions change. And we see this evident in lives of so many people around us. So predictions hold good only as long as if you're not in Krishna consciousness, obviously you need to go by predictions. And the another example also that is Prabhupada has used many times is if there is a prediction for rain, you carry umbrella, but it doesn't have any much, beyond this it does not have much meaning. You shouldn't be dependent on the once you accept Krishna and start performing Krishna consciousness activities, you should not unnecessarily get carried away by horoscope and the kundli and other things. You should then depend on Krishna. If Krishna wants, he will your whatever the karma phalas that are due to be delivered to you will be delivered to you. But bhakti is not in your horoscope. Bhakti comes by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata beej. And if you accept bhakti, devotional service in your life, the other things may change in no time. No time. Krishna just doesn't have to endeavor hard to change your destiny or horoscope. Just by his desire, everything can be changed, and you can be then engage in devotional service of Lord, become instrument in bringing more people to Lord, becoming instrument in book distribution, becoming instrument in opening new temple where thousands of new people can get connected with Lord. Krishna can then make you instrument in many things, and that none of those things could be based on your predictions of horoscope. So Krishna can make you instrument very easily. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Prabhu, it's okay because since we are from Kerala in our homes, we follow Kerala astrology a lot. So in the Guru temple and astrologer told me one thing: your planets are completely lost, but if your Ishta Devata Lord Guru take Guru as a will means he can change anything. That was the thing told by himself.
So that's true. You accept Krishna, follow devotional service, and you don't then care about planets. Just do everything for Krishna. Krishna will take care of it.
It was actually a fate for me, the way he told himself, telling if Krishna thinks we can change anything.
Absolutely true. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very much,
Prabhuji, for
Prabhu.
sharing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Swapnil Prabhuji, Ananya, Mansi, we have 4 questions very quickly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the relation between Sudama and Krishna, you have explained the pastime very beautifully. It's a divine pastime wherein we can see a relationship between a devotee and the Lord. Uh, my question here is that Sudama did not ask anything to the Lord, and Lord gave him everything. When he returned, the thought came to his mind, but he was more happy to meet the Lord. But when he went home, he saw all the Aishwarya being granted to him. So, in the same way, in this modern time, uh, can we reciprocate, have that reciprocal in this modern time also, that Krishna understands our problem and blesses with his mercy, and we should not be asking him? Or is it okay that we also we seek his reciprocation by asking him his mercy? So that is my question, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Dharanam. So should we ask from Krishna about our material, conditions, or should we not ask? if that is a question, it's better to ask Krishna if at all we are in dire need of something, if our health has deteriorated completely. At times, it is better to ask from Krishna rather than asking somebody else. He is definitely our 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 loving Father. We should love him, but we should ask, but we should not make our devotional service conditional to what he gives. Sudama became happy by meeting Krishna. A materialist person would have become happy only when he see the riches in at his home, uh, and he would have felt distressed during his journey back home. But Sudama was uh, he he didn't care. He didn't care for the material things, and so he became simply happy by meeting, having met Lord of his heart. So that spiritual connection gave him happiness, not the material riches. But at times, if we are in extreme poverty, we may not be at the level of Sudama. So if we don't have food to eat at our home 2 times, and if we don't have clothes to wear, if we don't have home to live, in that such a distress condition, if we happen to be finding ourselves, we probably will become impossible for us to perform bhakti of any kind. So in such situations, it is if we happen to be in, I'm hoping none of us are in that situation. In such situations, it's okay to have to pray to Krishna, to ask for help, rather than going somewhere else and asking for that help. And but health, in case of health, those issues can come up, but we should pray to Krishna and ask, do whatever you think that is best for my devotional life, you do. If somebody may fall sick, and and may pray very uh, pray with all their heart to Krishna, but when and if they get cured, they may start watching IPL. Now that is misuse. That is disastrous. So, so in such case, when Krishna see that I have that happening, he will actually not give us cure. So we will continue to remain sick and will continue to pray wholeheartedly to Krishna. Because if we were to get cured, we would have gone and watched IPL or gone vacationing in Switzerland. So therefore, for what is best for us in this case, it is best for us to remain sick so that we remain praying to Krishna. So Krishna knows what is best for us. Krishna knows what is best for us. So things we may want, we may want mango, he may give us apple, because he knows apple is best for us. uh, so if we make our bhakti conditional to what we get, we will not be able to become a devotee and remain a devotee for a long time. So that should not be our mood. Our mood, if at all we want to ask, we should ask it, and then we should leave it for Krishna to decide if he wants to give or not. And we should be happy and performing bhakti in both the situations, even if we get our desire fulfilled, even if we don't get our desire fulfilled. If that should be our mood while asking, if at all we want to ask anything from Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare
But we
Krishna.
can at the same time ask for well-being of others also, Prabhuji, right?
Same goes for them.
Yeah.
No, it's like you may be taking a very okay. I don't ask for myself, but give it to my wife. Give it to my. Uh, I mean, if they are devotees, Krishna will do what is best for them, best for their devotional service, and that may not be in line with your expectation. But we may not have that visibility to see what is best for them. So this should be our mood while asking, do what is best for their spiritual growth, for their spiritual life. And if it means giving more riches, giving better health, improving their financial condition, so be it. Even if Yudhishthir Maharaj had riches he was the richest man on planet in 3 worlds. He owned practically the whole world, but didn't that wealth didn't affected him. He remained to be a staunch devotee of Lord. So Krishna will give what he has to give, provided basis on how we are able to handle things, and otherwise he will not give. And we should be committed in performing devotional service in both situations, either this way or that way. Okay. So we should make our bhakti, our love to Krishna conditional to he fulfilling our desires. That should be our mode. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Ananya?
Hare, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
My question is, like it is always said that the intent matters behind whatever the actions we do or any decisions we take. But when it comes like, let's suppose a person, has some good intentions for you, but still chooses a path or still chooses to decide or take the a decision of, causing pain or um, taking an action which in return will hurt you or cause pain. So this actually, it's like choosing a path which is more painful and hurtful. So how and is it in a way that only the intent matters, or the person, actually he also he is involved in the consequences also, the karma he or she has performed.
So just to summarize your question, that we may have good intent, but our actions may result in somebody getting hurt.
Yes, yes,
Is
Prabhu.
this right or wrong? So take
Yes,
some
Prabhu.
small example, Mataji. Our children, when they grow, we make them walk. Okay, they are happy crawling from one end to another end. They're very happy, but we force them to stand because at some stage they should be standing, they should be walking. When they walk, we teach them to run. When they run, we teach them to ride a bicycle. In all these stages, many times they fall down. Correct. So we put them in discomfort, uncomfortable situations from what they earlier were. A child is happy crawling, we force them to walk and start walking, stand and start walking. If they are walking, we teach them to learn to run, and then when those who are running, we teach them to ride a bicycle. And while riding bicycle, they fall, develop scratch here there. Many times they hurt themselves, and we continue. So, but by putting them in a so-called uncomfortable position, painful position, we are actually helping them grow, isn't it? And this is necessary for them. This at a short in a short term basis, a child may think, I'm happy walking and running, why you are forcing me to sit on a bicycle where I don't know how to pedal, I have to balance, I fall down here, fall down there. I get so many scratches, my pains, and you put Dettol, like pain again. Why go through so much pain when I'm happy walking and running around here everywhere? But as a parent, that is best for his growth. Similarly, in life, things may be done in such a way, our our good intent will actually may result in action which are not so good from the other person's point of view. A child may always want to play, but mother will force him to or her to study because she see her long-term vision. She has a long-term vision for the child, and she's playing is good, maybe good for health, but studying is also critical. So the two people's views may always not match, but if things are done with the right intent, um, by thinking about long-term good of a person, on a short-term basis, they may not seems to be very positive, but on a long-term basis, the child will thank their parent uh, because they force him to study, learn how to ride a bicycle, to go to school and study nicely. Um, the child should be obliged. I should be thankful to their parents for putting them into that uncomfortable position. So if this is what we are talking about, such uncomfortable positions are desirable, but not otherwise. If there is anything else, we can probably discuss subsequently. But is that answer your question partly, or you have something else in mind?
No, not on a parent and child's perspective, uh, but on a higher level.
Correct. No, but I mean, as long as you can take the same, uh, you know, logic to the husband and wife, or a spouse, or between friends, between colleagues also. Um, what is performance? I mean, performance conversations at or we give course correction. When we get a course correction, it's uncomfortable for us. But if somebody has good intent and somebody is in a position of authority, gives us a course correction, we should accept it because it's ultimately for our own growth. We may not fall down and develop scratches as we were doing while riding a bicycle, but here our mind hurts. It hurts inside our mind to get a course correction from anyone, and somebody is asking us to change the way we do things. It hurts our ego a great deal. But if we are open for growth, we should change ourselves like that. So logic can remain same, can be applied everywhere, other places as well. But if you have any specific situation, we can feel free to call me and we can discuss it over a call.
Okay, Prabhu. Um, Actually, is it like no matter what the intention is, or the intention is right or wrong, but the path we choose to achieve that decides the fruits of our karma? Is it that way, Prabhu?
Not necessarily. Because intent is to cure a patient. I may give a medicine which patient may like. It could be sweet in taste, or should I give a medicine which is actually useful for the patient? I should not think about taste of a medicine, correct? As a
Yeah.
doctor, I should be thinking about what will give cure to the patient, not how which medicine taste and with which whether my patient will like the taste of the medicine or not. That should not be the concern for a doctor. So the doctor should be concerned what's best suited for the current situation, and that he should give accordingly.
Yes, Prabhu.
So it might be from patient's point of view, it might be sour or might not be very foul tasting medicine, but so be it. If that's needed, that's needed. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for your
Hare
question.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mansi, and
Hare
then
Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes.
So my question is, what are the qualities of a surrendered person?
Uh, what are the qualities of a surrender person? Very nice question.
And how can we surrender to Krishna? Like how we will know that we have surrendered to him?
Yeah. So the surrender is defined in a verse called 18.66, which the verse is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. In this verse, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has given one beautiful verse. There are 6 symptoms of surrender that Prabhupada has described in this verse, the purport to this verse. And basically, the symptoms of surrender comes, and it's also one of the book called Nectar of Devotion. Prabhupada has given the symptoms of surrender, that externally we may act. There are external consciousness and internal consciousness. First of all, these two things need to be understood. Externally, I may look like a surrender soul if I start wearing a dhoti kurta and going to ISKCON temple, wear a tilak. Verbally I may say Hare Krishna to everyone who I meet. When I see senior, I pay obeisances. And externally, I may act like a devotee, but what is but I may not have internal consciousness develop as a devotee. And that requires knowledge and practice of sadhana. So Narayan Prabhuji, everyone is raising hand, and I'm just picking up one by one those who have raised hands. So that's how they are asking question. But feel free to type your question, and I can get back to you, or you can let me know. You can also raise hand, and I can give you a chance to ask a question. So about the symptoms of surrender are, these are the symptoms of surrender, that when we there is a external change and there is an internal change as well, and one should be open for such change in the first place, and then one should accept the knowledge and practice according to the instructions given, and to experience such change. And when that change happens, one's faith deepens in the process, and one becomes committed to the process rather than becoming remaining arbitrary in the practice of bhakti. So knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and following practice of devotional service, which includes following four regulative principles, which help us not perform sinful actions, and performing devotional actions like chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the morning, visiting temples, hearing Krishna Katha, hearing, taking association from devotees, discussing with devotees our issues, our problems, visiting Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Mathura Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, hearing Krishna Kathas, participating in Sankirtan, performing some devotional service for the pleasure of Lord and his devotees. Now, these are practical things which we can do. So there are do's and there are don'ts. When we do perform those things, these things basis the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, not out of blind faith, but basis knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. When we act according in Krishna consciousness, um, our we develop, we actually get realization firsthand. We start witnessing change within our own self, and such change deepens our understanding and faith in the process of Bhagavad Gita. So that is how our we surrender more and more to the process. We become more and more committed to the process. Okay, so it all starts with little faith with which we come to Krishna. We learn from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. We take up the practice of chanting and hearing and serving, and through which we get mercy, we get Krishna's mercy, we get realizations. We experience transformation of heart. Our values start changing. We were meat eaters earlier, now we become vegetarians. We were vegetarian earlier, now we become prasaditarian. We offer everything to Krishna, at least in our mind, or wherever possible we offer proper bhoga to Krishna and eat it as prasad. With that consciousness, we eat food. We just don't eat food to fill our belly. We just don't eat food because we like it. We eat food because it is prasad. We do everything for Krishna. We consider, we become compassionate to other living entities. So we witness this transformation in our heart, in our behavior, in our value system. That happens basis the knowledge and practice that we have performing, and that is how our faith will increase. Our faith will become conviction, and we practice bhakti with more conviction, more dedication, and that's how we will become more and more surrender to Krishna. So it's a process, it's a journey. It's not 0 1 that I'm surrendered now, I'm not surrendered today. But this process is, it will take time. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Sadhana Mataji and then Narayan Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, सेम क्वेश्चन मैं भी पूछना चाहती थी कि सरेंडर क्या है। मीन जैसे हम जैसे डिवोटीज हैं, अभी मतलब डिवोटीज नहीं, मतलब अभी प्रैक्टिस करना चाहते हैं, तो हम हमारे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में सरेंडर क्या है, मतलब हम लोग क्या करें सरेंडर में, क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या करें, ऐसा यही क्वेश्चन था।
Okay, okay. So I hope it got cleared. At our level, from our place and at our pace, we have to join the race. From our place, wherever we might be in the level of faith, हमारा जितना faith होगा, and from our pace, given टाइम प्लेस सर्कमस्टेंसेस हम कितनी भक्ति कर सकते हैं? क्या हम somebody may say that I cannot even chant 2 hours, I cannot spend 2 hours chanting, मुझे टाइम ही नहीं है, तो मैं 1 घंटा कर सकता हूँ, तो मुझे 1 घंटा करना चाहिए। सो एट आवर पेस, सो जैसे ही हमारा फेथ बढ़ेगा, कन्विक्शन बढ़ेगा, वी विल बी एबल टू यू नो फाइंड दिस, we will find this more valuable, and then we may be able to remove time. That's why, therefore, if you see, we in our message we say remove time. It's not that you should join this session when you have time. There's a difference. uh, Remove time, you will endeavor actually to make your timetable free, and make arrangements in such a way that you are not disturbed within between this time, and you are able to attend a session, you are able to learn something new about Krishna. Find time whenever I have time. Instead of watching IPL highlights, I'll watch Bhagavad Gita session. No, that's not a very great way of approaching Lord and His teachings. So that's how we say that remove time, and we should do our part. We should do what we best we can from the place we are at the pace we can, and we should join the race. We should come in bhakti. We should perform devotional service to the best of our ability. We should inquire from devotees, and that way we come closer to Krishna, one step at a time. Okay.
तो प्रभु जी ऐसा होता है, कभी ऐसा लगता है कि 16 माला करो, कभी ऐसा लगता है कुछ एक माला भी ऐसा बाद में होते होते फिर वो रिग्रेशन से ही पूरा ज्यादा डिप्रेशन मतलब ज्यादा ये हो जाता है, फिर नेक्स्ट डे फिर वो कल का रह गया, ऐसा अप एंड डाउन एक कभी सोचती हूँ कि एक ही कंटिन्यू करती हूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट डे लगता है ना आज ज्यादा करूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट डे अरे एक ही करना, मेरे लिए एक ही ठीक है, ऐसा ये भक्ति है क्या है प्रभु जी?
This is also bhakti, but this is inconsistent bhakti. So we have to bring it to a level where we feel कि consistency है। जैसे कि आप 4 माला कर लो, then increase it to 6, then increase it to 8. So get some foundation। जैसे कि टू मच ऑफ टर्बुलेंस होता है, अप एंड डाउन होता है, फ्लाइट मेक्स एवरीवन अनकंफर्टेबल। So bhakti also, if it is like this, and there will be days when you will actually not genuinely not be able to chant. मान लो घर का कोई व्यक्ति अस्पताल में है, and you are running around arranging for medicine, blood, this, that. You may not actually genuinely get time for japa. Sit down peacefully and do japa. But so there will be situations in our life when we are travel होता है, native place जाते हैं, आते हैं, we uh, unpleasant environment through we go through, and then it's not conducive for us to chant. So we actually may have some of those situations 1 or 2 days in a month or in a year when it will be genuinely possible for us not to chant. But otherwise, it's up to us. It's up to our laziness. We shouldn't become lazy in bhakti. If that is happening, then we should have devotees around us to remind us what is important, and that therefore we should always be in association of devotees. We should be constantly talking to devotees, telling them what we are doing, reporting them what we are doing. We should be accountable for our bhakti. If that happens, then it's easier to get corrected. We get course correction quickly than late. If you remain lazy for too long time, then eventually you will lose interest in performing bhakti at all. So the earlier you get a correction, the better it is. So you should be in association of devotees who can give you such course correction. For them to be able to give you course correction, you should share. You should share your heart with them. They should tell them that this is what is happening. What do I do? And then accept whatever the instructions that they may give and practice those to the best of your ability again. Okay, Mataji. Narayan Prabhuji, and then Swapnil Prabhuji.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, हरे
Yes,
कृष्ण।
thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yes, we can hear.
Thank you, thank you. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। मैं अभी मैं बिगिनर हूँ और मुझे भक्ति मार्ग में आना है और आगे बढ़ना है, तो मुझे काउंसलिंग या कुछ मेंटरशिप कुछ मिल सकता है, कुछ गाइडेंस या काउंसलिंग काइंड ऑफ फ्रॉम अ डिवोटी, फ्रॉम यू और अ सीनियर डिवोटी हु कैन हेल्प मी आउट, जो मदद कर सके आगे बढ़ने में। क्योंकि मैं अभी भी शुरू कर रहा हूँ एक्चुअली।
Okay.
तो क्या करना चाहिए मुझे, हाउ टू प्रोग्रेस इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी?
So, this is very simple, Praji. You should hold on to the devotees, those who are in
Okay, I
contact
don't
with
have
you.
anybody except
Uh,
your Krishna Kapila's number. I don't have anybody's number.
yeah.
So how should I be in contact with them then? I mean,
So should yeah should we can discuss this, Praji, later after the class.
oh,
And
can I call
if
you? I
you
mean, can I call you after the class?
yes, I have few meetings. I'll let you know when we can speak. We have
Okay.
shloka contest going on actually. So from 2 onwards, we'll have some shloka contest devotees with whom I'll be meeting them on
So what is the best
this
time to
week.
call you?
I'll let you know today. I'll message you today. Maybe around five, around between 4 to 5 is what we can speak. Uh,
That would be great,
because
actually.
that I'll message you between around 4 o'clock. We should be able to speak. Not a
Thank you
problem.
so much, Prayo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Raji. Hare Krishna. Swapnil, Mansi, you have hands raised. If you have any other additional questions or
Prabhuji, it was not a question, actually a request, but I think partly you have already responded. One is about the contest you just told, but the session in which we recited the shlokas, we have sort of a we we restore that session of evening if time permits.
practice sessions, you're saying?
Practice session, Prabhu.
Oh, I can't do it myself, Prabhuji. I need help from all the volunteers. They were taking the sessions. I was just opening the session and I was closing the session. I was not doing much. I'll check
Vikas
with
Prabhuji
the.
is on the call. Ashwani
No, no, no,
Prabhuji is
no,
on the call.
no, no. Don't hold gun to their because they're all grahasthas, Rajiv. So I'll check with them offline and I'll see if they're all available. We can continue with the session.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Otherwise, it's uh, it's up to us to practice individually. But I realize that when we stop the session after 30th of April, naturally complacency and lethargy comes in. Then you're
Hmm.
suddenly your inclination to read goes down. Chant the dedicated time that you had kept aside otherwise, that you start missing that. So that happens. So that will double check, Raji, and if need be, we will restore the sessions. Otherwise, yeah, we'll have to
Yes.
figure out some way for
Yes.
to do
Uh,
it on.
Prabhuji, one very short question, but it's very interesting question. Spirituality, as we said, yes, we want to get into. I've been a couple of years back. My father was in hospital, and I just inquired with their managers and the local resident doctors. Some of the patients were getting treatment on a psychiatric basis, and I asked what is the reason, and they said they are too much into spirituality and they were thinking of doing sadhanas and all, and that's why their family have asked them for a rehabilitation. So my question here is are those family members on right path, or this is the true symptom of a devotee or a spiritual inclination? And we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the later stage could only had one focus. And we should rescue such patients, or it is something to do other than probably it's too much of things that they could not handle and they started misalign in the life, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sorry
Krishna.
about this question, but it just struck me.
So this is different, basically question because we don't really have a lot of information about who those devotees, what path they were following, what was their basis. Were they studying Bhagavad Gita and chanting Hare Krishna? Probably they were not. And then if this is not what they were doing, we don't say this is the only path, right path, but what is it that they were doing for developing love of God, for developing service attitude towards God? And if you do see, these are fundamental things, but so nobody will, for becoming, we describe the qualities that a devotee will develop. A devotee when will have compassion, real genuine compassion for towards all the living entities, not only humans but animals, everyone. A genuine devotee, when advanced devotee will be truthful, will be helpful, will have integrity. So what are we talking about? Will be very intelligent, will be very focused, because a devotee will not have to worry about what's happening in which country, um, which stock market is rising or falling, which currencies are growing or degrowing, which politicians are winning or not winning, what is the economic stage, who is marrying with whom in Bollywood, who, who is whose movies done how much collections, which new movies are lined up, which music albums are sold. A devotee is not concerned with all of this, so he's focused, so he's extremely focused. So a devotee is, so if these are the qualities that we talk about, nobody will suggest to go to a psychiatric to having demonstrated these qualities. If devotee is seen chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for 2 hours, that's also not a reason sufficient to go to a psychiatric, to send to a psychiatric. So it's difficult to answer a random question like this, because we don't know really what those people were doing in the name of spirituality. As we say, it's not all same. Okay. uh, and in general, there will be variations in the practice, but as long as they're trying to cultivate love for Krishna, love for God, they know who is God, and they're developing, trying to, all their endeavors are for developing love for God. uh, they will not become psychiatric. you know uh, their their tendencies will be, their practices will be opposed to the world, but they will still be very much in the world, and very much in the, so they will not really need any psychiatric treatment. So it's been if this is what had happened, probably we should figure out what is it that had happened. You spoke about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That at a very advanced stage, when we have some devotees, like Srila Prabhupada was never also seen at that, never demonstrated those symptoms. Uh, at most, he has cried in public by when he couldn't control his emotions, his feelings, his shed tears of separation from Lord. And again, this is not a sufficient reason for somebody to be sent to psychiatric. So we don't really know what those people were doing. But by practicing Krishna consciousness, you have by for no by offering bhoga and eating prasad, for chanting 2 hours of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by only visiting Dham and refusing to go to Disneyland, these are not sufficient reasons for you to see psychiatric. This shows that you have preferences, you have values, and you have choices. It's simple. You choosing to be only eating prasad, it's a matter of your choice. You are an adult, and you are an adult intelligent person who is exercising his choice. You choosing not to go to shady places like casinos and beer bars, just exhibit your choice. It's a matter of your value and your choice. It's not a subject matter of psychiatric verification. And so for a devotee, Krishna consciousness, you have a very less chance of getting labeled as madman, unless you start exhibiting qualities that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was exhibiting, that you start running around here there saying, where is Krishna, where is Krishna. uh, may not come that stage. If it comes, yes, that, but then you will not care for such psychiatric treatment. You will, if you've developed a love of God to that extent, and we pray that you do develop love for Krishna to that extent, but that will be a stage beyond any corrections anyway, because nobody will be able to treat you. If you reach that stage where gopis, like just like gopis, you start wandering here and there searching for Krishna, there is nothing much to be done. You've perfected your life. Just be like this and continue. but most of us will not reach that stage. Most of us will get, at the most be able to show 9 symptoms of devotional service, 9 symptoms of surrender, uh, which are described by Rupa Goswami, which tells at a practical level how best you will utilize your time for Krishna, how best you will utilize your resources for Krishna, how best you will show your enthusiasm to serve Krishna and his devotees. So these are verifiable, and for that, you will not get labeled as madman. So, uh, yeah, if that's different question, uh, but I hope it has
Hare
answered.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we just go through the chat if there are anything in the chat. How it is important? How important is the external change for developing bhakti? Is it mandatory to go for external change for developing bhakti? It's not mandatory, but externals will manifest. Eventually, they should manifest. Internal change as well as external change, both should manifest. So, uh, because externally, what the way we dress actually affect us, affect our consciousness, and but only dressing externally without changing internal consciousness, even that is not helpful. So both complement each other, and both can be done along with each other. I don't see any other questions. So if anything is not answered, feel free to reach out to me. I will conclude today's session. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्रील प्रभात की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि बोल हरि
Hari Hari
हरि
Bol.
बोल, हरे कृष्णा टू ऑल
Hare
डिवोटीज।
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Pranam.
Dandavat
Pranam.
Pranam.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandavad.
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Jai Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा दंड
Hare
प्रणाम।
Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. तो मैं भी करूँ क्या?
हरे कृष्णा दंड
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रणाम
Hare
कृष्ण।
Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.